You guys went 11 deep tonight. Steve kind of compared the depth to the 14-15 team. First, what do you think of that comparison, and just overall, what do you think of the depth?
There's a vibe of that. You have 11 guys that probably deserve the opportunity to play and are going to be key for us to be the team that we want to be throughout the regular season, and then identify what the best rotation is come playoff time. 14-15 team is a little older through the bench, so a little bit more experience and guys playing different roles. But, that's where strength in numbers was born. And, the ability to, especially early in the year, confidently put out 10 guys and expect them to contribute and expect them to learn and grow in their roles. That definitely has a similar vibe for sure.
Steph, you seem to be really excited about.
Where you going with this?
You seem to be really excited when they announced Wiggins' name. His first title, his first ring night. How do you just feel about him getting to experience this?
You done? Okay. I was just happy for him because I remember March of 2020, the trade happening, and feeling very confident that he could fit in. Not just fit in, he could rewrite his story as, an elite wing at this level, contribute to a championship team. And I think he's made the biggest strides from that moment to now. And it's just amazing to see him get rewarded with, a ring and a championship, contract and all that, and for him to feel very confident in this being his home. So, anytime you make trades, you never know how it's going to shake out for either team. And thankfully it's been a perfect kind of fit and match, with Wiggs from day one to now.
Steph, there was a period at the end of the first quarter you were on the floor with Wiseman and Kuminga, and I think Poole too. I don't know if that's ever I'm sure that hasn't ever happened because it's the first regular season and they're young players. What was that like? Do you see a chemistry there that you have or you can have with those guys and those guys maybe have with each other?
Yeah, it's the hard part of, again, the 11 guys you can throw out there. There's going to be different lineups every night, especially early in the year. Wise being out all last year. You're going to have to develop that chemistry as we go. I don't know what that sample size is really small. I don't know what it looked like. It felt like we were trying to do the right things. They didn't shoot the ball well, but had a pretty good pace to it. And, I'm sure we'll go get some more looks there, but don't be surprised if, in the first 10, 15 games, there's going to be a different 5-man group out there. Just, you're going to continue to try and experiment and give guys opportunities to go out and hoop. And everybody has to be able to adjust on the fly and make the right reads, especially on the offensive end, and then, plug up on the defensive end and protect each other.
Steph, you guys are the last team to be defending NBA champs. I think you guys did it 2016, 17, 17, 18. How important would it be to try to defend the title again for this season?
That's why we play. Nobody can, rest on. After tonight, the journey really begins in terms of knowing you're going to get everybody's best shot. You got some really talented teams that are going to be gunning for you. So we got to be ready for it all, knowing that's going to be a very long journey. But that's why we play. That's why we're competitive. That's why we work as hard as we do. Nobody's just sitting and going to stare at that ring and be like, oh, it's over. I don't think anybody's built like that.
Hey, Steph, you were just talking about how great it is to see Andrew find a home here. Last season, he set a career high from three-point range. Tonight, 4 3-pointers. How much is that a testament to the system compared to just the work that he's put in from there?
It's both. You got to be prepared for your opportunities out there, but it's also him just seeing spacing, having confidence, knowing he's going to get touches, on the post, pick and roll, and, spotting up for three. He hit a couple off the dribble too. So for him, it's just being decisive. Whatever he does, usually it turns out positive if he's decisive and aggressive, no matter what it is. So very confident in his ability to do that.
Steph, when you think back to the player you were maybe 5 years ago, how much better are you at finding ways to score or contribute when your shot's not falling, like the first half tonight, and selling fouls and things like that? Steve mentioned, I asked him a similar question, and he mentioned your strength. And it's an example. He thought of how much stronger you are now than you were 3, 4, 5, 7 years ago. Curious your take on that.
It all matters. Selling fouls might mean they weren't fouls. I don't try to do that too often, but I think a lot of it is, like you said, just being aggressive, knowing I'm going to shoot a lot of threes. No, everybody knows that. But if they're not falling, trying to get to the free throw line, get some easy ones, keeping the ball moving. And for me, I try not to stop moving offensively so that, you're always a threat, even if you don't have the ball. I got like 3 back cuts in the first half that got me easy layups just because I kept moving and guys found me in the right time. So all that stuff matters, and you wear down the defense that way, even if you're not, shooting like Andrew Wiggins from 3.
Steph, when you think about tonight later, what are you going to remember most? What sticks out to you about the ring ceremony tonight here at Chase?
I was very intentional and just trying to take it all in from start to finish. You're preparing for a game, but with everything that we went through to get back there, the anticipation of the night, sitting on the bench just watching every video, listening to everybody talk, catching, different fans in the crowd and seeing how much people were enjoying the moment. I tried to be very intentional about that. We had a moment, I don't know if it's 17 or 18, where we got to honor Eric Hausen, who's been just the driving force behind the scenes of making our season as smooth as it goes, and logistically and all that. And his counterpart, Nenea, had her moment tonight, which all that stuff matters in terms of representing the organization and everybody that plays a part in taking care of our families, just making our day-to-day as easy as possible so we can focus on basketball. And the amount of pride that they take in doing their job, we want to make sure they get as much love as possible. So that was a cool moment too.
Got 2 questions for you, Steph. First, with the addition of Dante and the rise of Jordan and Moses, would you call this one of the more interesting backcourt groups you've played with?
For sure. Yeah, a lot of guys, like Dante is a very versatile player. He can do a lot of different things. He can guard. He can play the ball with the ball in his hands and play make. He made a couple. That last 3 to 4th quarter, you can see he has range and he can space the floor that way too. And he's a tough competitor, even from his college days. He's shown that. So big get for us to counter JP some in that second unit, play with whoever's out there because he always tries to make the right play. We know what Moses is about. Like you said, JP is continuing to get better and, being effective out there. So a lot of different – you can almost play all 3 of those guys together and not lose anything on either end of the floor. A lot of options for sure.
And second question is, we saw a dream shake from you in the first half. Is that officially in the bag now?
We'll see. Yeah. I'm 2 for 2 preseason and tonight, but I don't think coach will call plays to put me in the post yet. So I got to keep digging deep into the bag for different stuff.
Yeah, Steph, you already asked about this team's depth, but in the grand scheme of things, in terms of factors that go into winning a championship, how important can depth be to a team?
I mean, the biggest thing is that throughout the 82 games, you got to weather the storm. You know, there's going to be a couple of injuries. You know, you're going to hit some rough patches. That to be able to have that many guys to throw out there, it matters. But I think most importantly is, you know, again, when you get to the playoffs, you know the rotation is going to tighten a lot. And everybody's going to have an opportunity to earn those minutes and figure out what our best lineups are to go win a championship. And throughout the regular season, we've talked about it since, you know, 14, 15. Everybody matters in that journey. Even if you're not the guy that's, you know, 8, 9, 10, you still have to be ready. You still got to be locked in. And all that stuff has started in the off season, but it starts now in terms of building the right habits. Just the right approach to the game, because you never know. Things change really quickly throughout the regular season, and everybody has to be ready. So it's a great luxury to have. But there's difficulties that comes with it, because people are going to be pissed off coming off the court when knowing that they didn't play that night. So you have to just be patient with it. And, you know, we've all gone through it at some point in your career.